Cancer. Cancer moon. I was just talking about the Four Cups. Cancer placements, Cancer moon. Moon issues in general. Someone's really in tune with the moon. Apathy. I wonder why this is a Cancer card. I think it's because Cancers do, as the cardinal sign, do make decisions. And after a Cancer recognizes a pattern, they'll change their behavior if they don't like the outcome. But there is some kind of negative earth energy I feel from that. It's kind of like, well, you don't really know. But I can totally see Pisces. I can totally see Scorpio continuing with the pattern and see Pisces considering that maybe it'll be something new and accepting it anyway. I think as the Chariot card, Cancer is the one to be like, nope, line in the ground, line in the sand, this is where I stand on this issue. I change my mind. Okay. Sensual, earthy, a lot of people involved. There's 4 people in 3 cards in the past. More people, wow. King of Pentacles, rest, teamwork. There was a party going on here. Kind of like the love affair between these two, huh? King and the Queen. At a distance, but they share this connection. A choice for love. So, all I see is romance, right? The King of Cups is looking away, and since that's the cup sign, I'm thinking that's the water sign energy. I think this is us, whoever this reading's for. This is who you are, and me, as a conduit. But so I think you're not interested because you're looking away. It's kind of like these two are the same person. These two aren't, but at this energy, I think this is us. The King of Cups here. You're saying no to this love option for some reason. That's what happened recently. Or currently. And then the advice is to be a King of Pentacles. Rest. Earth. They're all earth here. Be earthy. Maybe this is too much romance. I mean, this is earth, air, water, and then earth. Let's see outcome. It's the tree. We're trying to build the tree. Options. Illusions. And then the Hanged Man. Okay, you're entering a period of contemplation. This is what you're considering. You're considering all these options. But the tree... I feel like you're working towards something here. This needs clarification. Let me think. What else does? Okay. Let's see. I want to know more about this situation, about what happened between these two. Adventure, fiery, someone who wants to start something, passionate, and the Hierophant, being the Hierophant over here. Following your integrity, something didn't feel right and you had to leave, even though the romance was there, for some other reason you had to leave. Like, You didn't feel like you had a choice if you were to be true to yourself. Wow. That decision. The lovers, a choice for love, and then a logical decision. So I think this is kind of counterintuitive, but I feel like this was a choice for love, but it was a logical choice, meaning that's not why you wanted to make that kind of choice. You wanted to make this love choice out of love. You didn't want to make a love choice just because it made sense. Does that? But then you're bringing in Hierophant energy. I think this is weird. I don't know if this is right, but the Hierophant I'm getting, like, you think romance should be something that is that reason is like reason should not take it over. That is not the core energy. That's not the main energy. That's not what's authentic in love. And you saw this Queen of Pentacles, and you saw like the adventurous spirit part of her. And I'm just talking about the energies, not the actual genders here. But you saw this adventurous spirit, and you're like, this is someone I could see this with. But this is somehow the connection instead. And there's something unfulfilling about that. I don't know if it's unfulfilling. Tell me more. Burnout. Yeah, I think you did it. Whatever this choice, this connection was, you didn't think it had the energy to make it, because this very steady knight who charges forward that has a lot of endurance feels burnt out. Like, you could see this connection in the future going forward, burning out. And having to make this logical decision. I think if you made this decision, you could see it just burning out over time. And this is a long, long time. Because this is even the most enduring knight can't even do it. As you look at the way he's looking at Knight, kind of like, you're not gonna make it. And the one fear's like, whatever. Like, this just feels good. This is gonna work out, sure. Just super optimistic, grounded in nothing. You being super practical, saying that this cannot go on the way it is. And I don't think you felt like you could control this. Like, you don't think it's fair to tell this Queen of Pentacles how she should be or what needs to change. Like, this is just what it is. You accept the connection as it is. You appreciate it for what it is, but it isn't what you want. The advice is to imagine yourself as the King of Pentacles. What does it look like? Take a break and envision it. Try to manifest it by doing it. And think of what it means to have all the things in the right place working together for you. But is that right? I need some reassurance here. What do we have on? Anxiety. So the King of Pentacles has anxiety. The screen. Karma. Insight. Insight is also options. The King of Pentacles kind of confused about the whole set, if that is what I'm getting. Hold on. Have your intuition, everything working in the right order with your intuition, everything working together. You have aggressive rest. why would the King of Wands be clarifying the Four of Swords? I think this is productive rest. Like, this isn't telling you to go to sleep because you're tired. This is telling you yourself to go to sleep because you're gonna need that energy tomorrow. You're gonna need that energy because you can tell you're going through a lot of anxiety. I think you're aware of the stress you're going through, but you gotta show up as the King of Pentacles. I think it's saying, so this is advising that you show up as the King of Pentacles, even though that you can tell it's gonna cause a lot of anxiety. So this is justice, but it's called karma in here. Let's see some. I'm gonna clarify that karma card. Do not deny the consequences of your actions. Own the results of your thoughts, words, and deeds, for even thought constitutes action in the energy cycles of the universe. Adjust your actions and embrace love. Remember these words. Be not deceived. God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Consequences. That does have King of Pentacles energy to me. Consequences of your actions, anxiety, options. I kind of feel like you're looking at your new options as the King of Pentacles, because you're like, I was a romantic and emotionally stable, and I tried to get this romance going, but there was a part of me, the Hierophant part of me, that needed more structure. I could tell it wasn't gonna last, so I'm gonna show up. So this is the advice. Maybe show up as a combination of these two, as a King of Pentacles. And I think this is saying you're going to feel a lot of anxiety showing up as this person, because on one hand you want to be this righteous, structured person, but you're also looking at all your options here. This is the Seven of Cups. And the consequences of considering multiple options. When you consider multiple options, it makes you feel like, I'm not that decisive King of Pentacles. I don't have that clear decision making that should be right. I have to consider multiple possibilities, and that feels wrong, because when I do figure out what's right, everything else is going to feel wrong, and I was doing those wrong things. That's what I'm getting from this, and that is causing you anxiety showing up as the King of Pentacles, because this is apparently a love read in the dating scene again. And this is something that you're trying to actively prepare for, which is funny, because dating should be fun, but you're like, I'm gonna rest, I'm going to be the structured, orderly person. That's a very anxiety inducing practice for you, it seems like, or at least I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that seems stressful if you're just dating for fun. But in doing all this, you are going to know what is going to work for you. You are going to build your intuition. It's such a multifaceted topic. It's very interesting. And the outcome is, well, then the Seven of Cups shows up again. I think you're going to become, I'm getting Pisces energy from this, right? I think you're going to become, I'm getting a lot of masculine energy here. I think you're going to become masculine here, but in a Pisces way, in a soft way, in a gentle way. You're going to be able to integrate these two things again in a different way, because this was maybe overcorrecting the advice, and that's a necessary step in order to achieve this outcome where it's more peaceful, you're more contemplative, you give things more thought. you feel it's okay to consider your options, and it's also okay to like to look at what really was the goal, which was to build this. And this is the journey to get there. Yeah, I think that's right. A part of me wants to say that the options are necessary to find the best strategy for your goals. Let's do an oracle card. If I get the Earth Keeper again, it's gonna be so funny. Okay, this is. Okay, since that one is the one that. Wild Woman. The essence. When the wild woman dances into your reading, she reminds you of the essence of authenticity and freedom. Divested of all social constraints and cultural conformity, the wild woman holds up a mirror to your essential self, the true essence of who you are and who you're meant to become. She is a reminder of the bright light within each of us that gets dimmed by the restrictions imposed upon us by the expectations of society. She reminds us that in order to be fully present to life, we must uncover that light and let it shine brightly, regardless of the perceived consequences. Shine brightly. Yeah, I think this is kind of like a controversial journey, but this is who you are and this is your journey. So just do it. Nobody's opinion matters but your own opinion of yourself in the end. When it comes to, like, maybe I shouldn't do this because blah, 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 just listen to yourself because that's who's living your life.